A beggar knocked on the door. The maid opened it, and the beggar said, "I was passing by and found this purse near your house. I thought I should ask here if it belongs to someone." The arrogant maid said, "Yes, this is ours, and ugh, you smell terrible. Get away from here." When the beggar tried to stop her, the maid snapped, "I've taken the purse, now leave." The beggar softly said, "At least give me a glass of water." The maid replied, "Fine, wait here, I'll bring it," and went inside. Once inside, she opened the purse, took out the money and hid it, saying to herself, "I'll keep it here. No one will suspect anything." Then she came back with some water and said to the beggar, "First wash your face." But instead of giving it to him, she threw all the water at his face. The beggar said, "If you didn't want to give me water, you didn't have to do that." The arrogant maid replied, "How could I give you water in this glass anyway?" Just then, the lady of the house arrived and asked, "What's going on here?" The arrogant maid said, "This beggar refuses to leave." The beggar said, "No, ma'am, I found your purse on the road and came to return it." The lady said, "Thank goodness you found it. Where is it?" The maid quickly said, "I put it inside." The lady smiled and said to the beggar, "Thank you. There was a lot of money in that purse." The beggar said, "It was my duty to return it." The arrogant maid said, "All right, now get out," and shut the door. The beggar quietly walked away. The lady called out from behind, "Wait, you returned my valuable purse, and I didn't even offer you anything to eat." The beggar said, "Your maid said I smelled bad. How could I come inside?" The lady said kindly, "Don't worry, come with me." She brought him into the house and said, "Sit here. I'll have something made for you." The kind-hearted lady went to the maid and said, "There's a guest outside. Make some tea." The maid said, "Yes, ma'am. I'll bring it right away." When the maid brought the tea and saw the beggar, she said scornfully, "So this is your guest?" The lady replied, "Yes, he returned my valuable purse, and I hadn't even thanked him properly." The arrogant maid muttered, "I still don't understand how you can trust people like him. What if he stole something?" The beggar said, "No, ma'am, I didn't take anything." The maid said, "You look like a thief anyway." The lady said, "Wait, I'll clear up your doubt." She opened the purse, and it was empty. The lady said, "My money was in here. Where did it go?" The maid said quickly, "See, I told you, he looks like a thief." The beggar said, "No, ma'am, I didn't do anything. You can search me." The maid said harshly, "Tell the truth, or we'll call the police." The lady calmly said, "The police won't come for him. They'll come for you." The maid stammered, "For me? But why?" The lady showed her the security camera footage. The maid, shocked, said, "No, that's a lie. I didn't do that." The lady said, "You should be ashamed. I trusted you, and you did such a lowly act, and then you tried to falsely accuse an innocent beggar." The maid pleaded, "Please forgive me," and started to leave. The lady said firmly, "Return my money first." The maid handed over all the money. The kind-hearted lady turned to the beggar and said, "These days, the more you trust someone, the more they betray you. We should never trample on those who live with honesty and dignity." Then she added, "I'm giving you this money as a reward for your honesty." The beggar thanked the compassionate lady with tears in his eyes. So, viewers, tell us in the comments, did the mistress do the right things? If you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share it.